You've heard the Mercedes Benz Sprinter called the king of cargo vans, right? Well, Ram might be coming for the crown. The 2026 Promaster 3500 just dropped, and it's packing upgrades no one saw coming. We're talking smarter tech, a cabin that feels more like a high-end SUV, and enough hauling power to make delivery drivers rethink their entire fleet. But can this American-built van actually outmaneuver the legendary Sprinter where it counts? Reliability, comfort, and value? Let's find out if Ram just built the new benchmark for work vans. The Promaster name has been Ram's workhorse badge for years, a familiar sight in fleets, delivery routes, and mobile workshops across the U.S. But the 2026 Ram Promaster 3500 represents more than another model year. It's Ram's most determined push yet to dethrone the van that's ruled the segment for decades, the Mercedes Benz Sprinter. Ram's taken what customers loved about the outgoing Promaster, its front-wheel drive practicality and huge cargo space, and injected it with sharper design, improved tech, and a promise of real comfort for drivers who basically live on the road. It's aimed squarely at contractors, fleet operators, and small business owners who need capability without the luxury brand price tag. And here's where things get interesting. Ram isn't just chasing utility anymore. The 2026 Promaster's cabin layout, driver assist suite, and powertrain options signal a shift toward user comfort and smarter connectivity, areas that used to be the Sprinter's playground. This year's refresh also hints at Ram preparing for the electric future, with design tweaks and tech integration that line up perfectly with an upcoming EV variant. So, if you've ever wondered whether a made-in-America cargo van can finally match, or even surpass, the European benchmark, stay tuned. Because what we found during our time behind the wheel might surprise even longtime Sprinter loyalists. Now that we know where the 2026 Ram Promaster 3500 fits in the van hierarchy, let's dig into what makes it tick. Because at first glance, this thing looks familiar. But a closer look reveals a van that's been quietly hitting the gym. From the outside, the new Promaster trades the boxy, pure utility vibe for a sleeker front fascia with slimmer LED headlights, a toned-down grille, and more aerodynamic lines that actually help improve highway efficiency. The stance feels more confident, almost SUV-like, and that's intentional. Ram wants business owners to feel proud pulling up to a client meeting, not like they're delivering drywall to a medieval fortress. Swing open the wide side doors, and the magic continues. The cargo area is cavernous, over 460 cubic feet of usable volume with easy walk-in height, and the floor is low enough that most folks can step right in without needing Olympic-level agility. For electricians, builders, or delivery drivers lugging boxes all day, that's a daily game-changer. Up front, Ram has finally caught up with modern expectations. The dashboard now mirrors the brand's pickup lineup, featuring a bright 10-inch touchscreen running Uconnect 5. There's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, multiple USB-C ports, a digital rearview mirror, and optional 360-degree cameras that make maneuvering this rolling skyscraper way less stressful. The materials feel sturdier than before, still rugged, but with fewer, rattly plastic moments when you hit a speed bump. Under the hood sits a 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. It's not a rocket ship, but the shifts are smoother, and the delivery of torque feels better balanced for stop-and-go traffic. Ram's front-wheel drive setup, while not new, gives the Promaster snappy steering and solid traction in bad weather, something rear-drive Sprinters can't always guarantee unladen. Towing tops out near 6,900 pounds, while payload capacity stretches toward 4,600 pounds. Numbers that keep it competitive in the heavy-duty van arena. And then there's safety. This van comes loaded with the sort of driver assist features that used to live exclusively in luxury SUVs. Think adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, pedestrian detection, and blind spot monitoring. For long delivery routes or tight urban environments, the stress reduction alone is worth it. Ram's engineers clearly wanted this to be not just a tool, but a workplace people could actually enjoy sitting in for 10 hours a day. Still, it's not perfect. The turning radius remains a bit wider than ideal, and while the cabin refinement has improved dramatically, the ride can still feel bouncy on rough pavement. But those trade-offs are easy to forgive once you weigh them against the improved driving dynamics and onboard tech suite. And here's the kicker. Rams quietly teased that an all-electric version is just around the corner. If that variant delivers on the same usability while cutting running costs, the Sprinter's long reign could finally face some real disruption. Next up, we'll break down exactly where the Promaster shines brightest, and where even Ram admits there's room for improvement. Alright, this is where the Promaster either proves its bold claims or folds under pressure. We took it on a fully loaded test loop, city streets, steep grades, and freeway hauls that usually separate marketing fluff from real-world muscle. And here's the shocker. The 2026 Promaster 3500 didn't just keep up with the Sprinter. In a few key areas, it downright embarrassed it. With a full payload, the V6 still pulled smoothly through traffic, and the new transmission barely hunted for gears. The updated steering felt tighter than before, letting this massive van glide through corners with surprising grace. The cabin stayed impressively quiet even at highway speed. No echo chamber noises, no dashboard creaks, just a steady hum of power and tire noise that never overstayed its welcome. Then came the hill climb test. The Sprinter has long been the benchmark for smooth torque delivery, but here, the Promaster climbed faster and with less gear-shifting drama. You can practically feel Ram's engineers watching from the sidelines, smirking. And yet, right when it seemed unstoppable, reality checked in. Over rougher pavement, that firm suspension started bouncing just enough to remind you this is still a hard-working van, not a touring cruiser. Braking distances were solid but not stellar. You'll want to plan your stops a little earlier than in the Mercedes. Still, what really flips expectations is how livable the Promaster feels for drivers who spend all day behind the wheel. After hours of driving, seat comfort and visibility remain top tier. Simple things, like the angle of the armrest or how reachable the controls are, make you realize Ram's focus wasn't just performance, but fatigue reduction and job efficiency. So, did the humble Promaster just outperform a legend? Well, almost. But the gap's closer than ever before, and when you factor in what Ram's planning next, things might be about to get very interesting. So, after a week behind the wheel and countless loaded miles later, here's the truth. The 2026 Ram Promaster 3500 finally gives American van buyers something to cheer about. It doesn't rewrite every rule, but it closes the performance gap with the Sprinter so tightly that the old hierarchy suddenly feels outdated. The Promaster's biggest pros? Comfort, tech, and usability. The new cabin layout and infotainment system make daily driving less of a chore and more of a workspace you don't mind spending time in. Safety tech and driver assist features genuinely reduce fatigue, and that smooth, predictable powertrain turns long shifts into something approaching, dare we say, pleasant. On the flip side, the ride still lets you know every bump in the road, and Ram's pricing, while generally fair, can creep upward quickly with options. Add the fact that long-term durability is still a question mark compared to the Sprinter's reputation, and buyers will have to balance short-term comfort against proven reliability. Who's it really for? Contractors, fleet managers, and delivery drivers who put practicality first but want modern features and strong ergonomics. It's a van designed for people who need a tool, not a status symbol, and want that tool to feel refined and stress-free while earning its keep. But here's the bigger story. The Promaster's improvements undercut the belief that only European vans can deliver refinement and precision. If Ram's upcoming electric version delivers on efficiency, the entire segment could shift, forcing competitors to step up or step aside. So, better than a Sprinter? Maybe not in every metric yet, but it's close enough to make you seriously rethink old assumptions. If you found this review helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-world car breakdowns, and drop a comment below. Would you trade in the legend for the underdog? Let's hear it.